Welcome. In front of me is a Google Pixel 10 Pro XL, and today I'll show you how we can go through the setup process of this phone. So, when you boot it up for the very first time, you should be presented with the same screen that you can see on my end, which is a whole load of nothing. So let's click on the arrow, where we get to select our desired language. Now I'll be choosing English and region Polish, as this is probably one of the best things you can choose, literally, or well, the region specifically. As a European Union country, Poland gets pretty nice benefits, like, you know, rights. So as an example, when it comes down to any kind of BS happening from Google themselves, for instance, your phone breaks out of, I don't know, whatever reason. In US, you would be basically shit out of luck. The company would be telling you, go screw yourself, you get to fix it yourself, or pay us money to do that for you. In Europe, on the other hand side, phone breaks. Piss off, Google, you're gonna fix it for me for free, or you get to return all my money back, and you have nothing to say. Shut the hell up and do your job. So I consider that to be an absolute win right here. And in general, additional things that I want to point out when it comes down to region, Europe also has additional laws regarding some different things. One of them would have been, for instance, something for like Apple, where they are forced to basically open up their store. And that basically forces Apple to kind of seize the iron grip that they have, the monopolistic behavior on their devices, and allow other people to create applications outside of Apple's control. And obviously Apple is being a piece of shit, and they're trying to basically act like a spoiled little shit, kicking and screaming and basically pretending that we didn't hear you, European Union. So they're getting fined up the wazoo, and sooner or later they're just gonna do it anyway. And the moment they do it, they're only gonna, maliciously comply and do it in Europe. So if you live in US, you, again, shit out of luck, you only have the App Store or Apple Store. Now this will matter because I'm pretty sure Android will be in the same ballpark soon enough, once they lock down their ecosystem and force you to use their dogshit platform, because they decided to, as they say, fight against malwares and all the other bullshit, which bullshit is what's coming from their mouth, by basically having app signature. And app signature would imply that whatever application you want to in the future install on your Android will require to be signed, and it can only be signed off by the developer, and I shit you not, if they pay Google the money to become a developer. Now, if you're wondering, well, that doesn't really help because anyone can pay for this, you would be damn right. It's not done to protect you as a user from malware. It's done to basically enrich Google. They are fighting against alternative ways of viewing content that doesn't bring them money by basically pretending it's for your safety, and then instead of giving you, I don't know, antivirus like a normal freaking human being would when it comes down to protecting against viruses, they basically put a lock on it and tell you, you can't install whatever we don't want you to install unless you pay us money, or the developer pays us money. Yeah, I just want to warn you against this. It's absolute BS. So sooner or later, European Union will basically be like, nope, a bad apple, you can't control the market this much, and open it back up, or again, fines. European Union, again, for the win in the future, possibly. And again, if you're supposedly in European Union, the changes will need to be applied to your device, which inherently means that it will get locked and then it will become unlocked later on, because go screw yourself, Google. So anyway, let's continue on. Actually, right here we have set up using another device. So let me bring up another device, because this will be something that's going to show up on your phone, other phone, like this one. Set up Pixel 10 Pro XL. It would disappear because I kind of like went back. There we go, it shows up back up. So you can do that. This will basically transfer over everything that Google hoovered up to their cloud, usually a lot of the data that they shouldn't really have, or from people that never consented to it, like contacts. Those are numbers of people that never consented to this in reality. But anyway, moving on. I'm gonna skip this and set up as new. Connect to Wi-Fi. This step is completely optional and you don't need to do that right now, but truth is you probably will do it at one point, as it's just nice to have Wi-Fi on your phone. Next we have if you have a SIM card, insert it now. So we have a SIM card at the very top right there, you can pop it in. You can also set up a eSIM if you want to, but you do need internet connection to do that. So you'd actually need to go back and connect to one. Now additionally, you don't actually need to connect to any kind of network or insert a SIM card, but if you choose to do that, you'll get this pop-up. Set up offline and then you get a pop-up. Without connecting, you can't sign into your Google account, restore apps and data, get software updates, and automatic set up date and time. Okay, sounds good enough for me. And here's the date and time, so you can fix it up if it's incorrect. I also should warn you, all these things that we're choosing right now can be changed later on in the settings, and also the date and time you can kind of ignore it, because the moment you connect to network, it will get automatically set to your region's time. Now here we have set a pin, so screen lock, by default it opts into a 4-digit pin, but you can change it right here under screen lock options to also choose pattern or password from the options. So it's completely up to you which one you want, and you can also not want any, which is completely fine. But for the purpose, I am going to select a pattern because, oops, let's try that again, there we go. Because when you do, you now have also the option to add a fingerprint to a unlocking method. So you can scan it, and there should also be face recognition. So I'm going to skip the fingerprint. Here's the face recognition as the next one. Oops, let's skip this. I didn't actually want to add it. Next we have Google services. So here we have several different services like location, scanning, and sending a user and diagnostic data. I have some things to say about this. You can turn those off, like location. Scanning automatically becomes disabled. Sending user diagnostic data. Now if you're thinking that by checking those off, Google won't be receiving data, you would be damn wrong. There is reasons why, for instance, criminals that decide to take their phones with them while also turning on airplane mode are still being tracked. And it's not because they decided to disable all the trackers by going into airplane mode, which supposedly turns everything off. That's because these toggles mean absolutely shit when it comes down to your privacy. This is just a general guideline for Google to ignore. So just know that if they're telling you that, oh, we're not going to be using Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi and whatever, yeah, that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth won't be available to you. We're not going to be using GPS tracking to know where you are. Yeah, we're just going to be using other devices around you, and we're going to be pinging off of them to know where you are. Yeah, if that sounds like it absolutely means F all, that's because it does. So let's move on to the next page, because it's not like Google gives you any privacy. And for people that are going to argue against privacy, if I'm not doing anything bad, I don't need to hide. It's a moronic argument. Just shut the hell up. I don't need to hide anything, but I still like my privacy. I might not be doing anything, or I might be. It's none of your freaking business. It's my choice to have privacy, so I should absolutely have it if I want it. So anyway, moving on. Limited warranty. Again, Europe for the win, so that's what you should be checking. Next we have get peace of mind. Well, that's a loaded statement. Pixel Satellite SOS. So it's something that Pixel actually comes with. And we have some crisis alerts and more in the personal safety app. Okay, so you can just check it out. It's generally just a info page. There's nothing here to really do. There is actually one thing, the Satellite SOS. That is going to be available to you not in every country as far as I'm aware. So check if your country actually supports it. The device does, but just because the device does, it might not mean that you can use it where you live. Swipe to navigate. You can choose your navigation style. We have the buttons or gestures. By default, it tries to give you gestures and teach you, so I'm going to select skip, because I already know how to use them. And no matter what you choose, right here where it says all set, you have the option, or right here in the gray text, to change it to buttons if this is something that you prefer using. I do prefer gestures, so I'm just going to swipe up to go home. And there we go. The device is now fully set up. Now, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.